Why did it take so long, in your view, for military officials to recognize the problem that burn pits were causing and the impact it was having on the soldiers? What was the
Yeah,
issue there?
the issue was money, right? It all boiled down to money. I think, of course, they were these. I mean, it's very public and known that you had contractors like Kellogg Brown and Root and several other contractors that were granted these contracts to dispose of waste. And a few, back more than 5 years ago, there was a class action lawsuit that was brought against some of these contractors. And that's sort of where it all started, right? Was that there needed to be this accountability for every United States flag that was being draped over these coffins of these young men and women that were coming back dying from these aggressive cancers, many times being passed off as somatoform issues, that it was all in their head. It's a very unique position to have been in as families, as veterans, and active duty members. But I think it all boiled down to money. It boiled down to cost, and there just wasn't that oversight that should have taken place from the beginning. And I think had it been done, there would have been not as many funerals that so many have attended, unfortunately, due to the negligence that took place.
The Pentagon has estimated that as many as 3.5 million veterans have been exposed to the poisons that emanated from the burn pits. You founded Burn Pits 360 in 2010. What does your organization do, and how does it help people?
We help connect those individuals and their families that have been impacted by burn pits or any military toxic exposures. But for our organization, initially, it started with just the exposure of burn pits specifically. So what we do is we connect those families. We operate an independent registry where veterans and their families or survivors can submit a health entry or a death entry that really has allowed us to move the mission forward of creating policy and legislation, such as the recent passage of the PACT Act and the Airborne Hazards Open Burn Pit Registry. So it's really connecting, working with Congress, working with DoD to make sure that these families are served, that they're provided the resources. So our organization, because for so many years there really was nowhere to turn to in regards to this issue, we provide information, resources, health information, clinical guidelines, and we now have stemmed into, aside from going and advocating in Congress, is providing medical supplies such as oxygen concentrators and hyperbaric chambers, and just really helping that community that is suffering so greatly. And now, as the VA and DoD move forward in facilitating some of these needs, we're still there to bridge the gap.